As the month of March fades, a new month of explosive action on the continent loads. April started with the golden youth of African football lighting up the fields of Morocco in a quest for precious tickets to Qatar. The fourth month of the new year also started with the Imperial Continental meeting of Africa's top clubs in the CAF Champions League and the Confederations Cup. Get yourselves ready for yet another unforgettable episode of the FA Show with me, Adelani Grenade, and SC Khadebe. Ungaindao. What would your favorite magazine show be without testing your football knowledge? Let's start today's conversation with K1's very own, and the man still having nightmares about South Africa being docked points, SC Khadebe.
I like how you introduce the docking of points when you know where you stand with this. But our conversation is not there. How are you?
SC, let's start with the breaking story today. Egypt is going to be hosting the Under-20 Afcon.
Yeah, man. You look at this news flash that comes to us, man. The Ivorian Federation comes out and say, due to unforeseen circumstances, they cannot host this tournament. Shocking to me, to be honest with you, after they've hosted such a beautiful tournament of the senior teams. We look forward to see what Egypt is going to bring to us.
SC, let's talk about Esperance de Tunis against Mamelodi Sundowns. Woo, what a game.
Yeah, to put it correctly, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Esperance in Pretoria. The altitude was something else.
I mean, we have to talk about Miguel Cardoso playing against his former team.
Yeah, look, I think he's quite an astute coach. We all know that UEFA Pro license that he holds, and he comes into this game facing his former team in Esperance and all the things he's achieved with Esperance. And I think he just gave the low down on the team and said, hey guys, I know this team and I know how to go about playing Esperance.
Okay, let's start with Esperance. Let's start with the players they have in their arsenal. They have Belaili, who scored 7 goals. They have Jan Sass in defense. They have Gelasi, and they also have Tugai in defense. And their defense is very solid. They've only conceded 3 goals in their last 5 matches. Yep. They always make sure that centrally they are solid. Did they approach this game well? And with the good players they have, did their attack get the service it needed in the game against Mamelodi Sundowns?
You know, before I get into that, we have to also be holistic in terms of how we look at football. Mahere Kanzari comes into this as the first game for him. He's going to face a Sundowns team that is rampant, a team that is well established, and a coach that is tactically superior, in my opinion, you know. And when we look at the game alone, you look at the game stats, it tells you that Sundowns came into this game guns blazing, 641 passes to 156 of Esperance. The approach from Esperance, to me, it makes sense because they're playing away. And of course, they don't want to come here and go charging at Sundowns because that's where Sundowns thrives. You go to Sundowns and you want to play in their final third. You will see flames when you see Ribeiro run at you. You will see flames when you have Tebo Mokoena pouncing at those rebound balls. It's just something else. I mean, you look at the game alone, it tells you that Esperance came into this game to defend. I mean, they didn't have a shot at goal, on target.
Unbelievable stats indeed. They didn't even have a shot on target. Even the ball possession at the end of the day, we saw Mamelodi Sundowns with 79% of the ball possession. But moving to the Mamelodi Sundowns side of things, well, a big shout out to Jaden Adams, who basically controlled the tempo of the game and gave that killer pass to Peter Shalulile. Oh, I love this goal celebration. It was reminiscent of you when you got your new FA Show deal. But Peter Shalulile is the man of the moment.
Yeah, Peter comes into this game and he comes into a Sundowns team that he knows very well. You look at the appearances that he's had for Sundowns, amazing. Cardoso comes through as a coach that knows how to coach him specifically, you know, because I say this, I reference the game they played against Maniema when he was sitting on the bench and the camera moved to him. And when it moved to him, they showed that he was so concentrating on the match. Immediately after that, the coach calls up to him and says, come through and save the day. And Sundowns at this point were finding it tough because even in the group, they were not doing so well. And Peter comes on and he scores the goals and he creates one. And
so SC, give us the stats. 11 goals in all competitions this season.
Yeah, Peter has been amazing. I mean, at his lowest, he's always hitting double figures. And just to boast for Peter and Sundowns supporters out there, to say he's the leading goal scorer in the CAF Champions League competition with 18 goals. And Peter has just been amazing. He's just going up and up and up. He's not stopping.
All right. Well, we have to add so far when we talk about those stats, because Peter Shalulile, I'm sure, is still going to do more damage in the CAF Champions League. But now let's move on to a very grim story. I think the fans were a bit shocked with the outcome of the game. Could that be the reason why there was so much chaos after the game between the Esperance de Tunis fans and the Mamelodi Sundowns fans?
Yeah, such unfortunate circumstances that we see in the game of football. They call it the beautiful game. We don't want to see such things in the beautiful game.
You don't want to see ugly scenes in the beautiful
Completely.
game.
We don't want to see such. And it could be a surprise, but to me, I don't think they should be surprised, because when you have a coach that's coming in to play a Sundowns team for the first time, you should anticipate that this should be the outcome of the game. But over and above, we don't condone such behavior. It's really unfortunate. We've got kids in the stadium, we've got mothers in the stadium, that are watching these games. We don't want to go through such.
And just to show you how beautiful the game is, we saw a Mamelodi Sundowns fan saving an Esperance fan hanging on the cliff there. It was just a metaphor for the unity of the beautiful game. But moving along, we saw Orlando Pirates. Mamelodi Sundowns rivals, all right? Remember, you switched off your phone when Orlando Pirates was dealing with you there. But they went all the way to Algeria, and just like Mamelodi Sundowns, they came back with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah. Talk about an interesting turn out of events, man. Pirates has been amazing going into this season's CAF Champions League, not losing any games going out of the country. Going into the north, it has been an oyster for them, and they've just been rampant. And it's just been something interesting. We bring in the 20-year-olds in this conversation, Ade. They're doing something amazing. And I reference a Rele Mofokeng who's been in the national setup. I realize...
Oh man, the weight of his pass for that goal. Nkota's goal. I mean, when Nkota came in for Dlamini, we knew that it was going to be problems.
We should recall that these boys come from development together, and the synergy between the two of them is something that's not going to stop now. I think even at a higher level right now, it's raising the bar. Rele is of interest when you look at this, and he says to Mofokeng, I will always find you in the pitch, and he's been giving him so many assists into these games. And when he scores his 2 goals, the 2 assists are coming from Rele. Come into this game, Rele shocks people and says, I'm going to repeat the same thing I've been doing with this guy. He gives him the ball and he slots it into the back of the net.
SC, I have to stop you there. We're going to be talking about more Champions League action after the break. But well done to Orlando Pirates. They only had 4 shots on goal in that game, but they made the 1 count. And Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates are flying the flag high for South African football. Let's look at other teams on the continent, what they're doing. After the break, we've got all that for you. Restez à l'écoute.